Everyone, this is the Codemaster here, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to build a basic roller coaster in Nolimits 2. Now you may be wondering, I don't really want to spend 2.5 hours building a roller coaster and then to find out that it doesn't work. Well, this tutorial is going to show you how to build a coaster in hopefully less than 30 minutes, and that will work and function just like a real roller coaster. The first step is to go into the editor. This is where we will work on the roller coaster. Go to the File tab and click New. Enter the name of your park and then click OK. I've already created a park, so I will not need to do this. Once your park is loaded, you will notice the window will fill up with a perspective view of your park. By going up to the right hand side, you can change the view from either top, front, back, left, right, or perspective. Track view will be used when we have a coaster in place. To move around the view, right click inside of the window. You will now be able to move the mouse. Right click again to deselect. You can also use the W, A, S and D keys on your keyboard to move around, but this can only work when you're right clicked. To speed up, press Shift and then the key of your choice. To slow down, press Control and the key of your choice. Here are a comparison between the speeds. But now enough of that jibber jabber, let's go ahead and start with this coaster. Go to the respective tab and click on Right. Go to the Coaster tab, click New Coaster. This is where we get to name our coaster. For this example, I'm just going to call it Coaster. Now the first step in building a coaster is deciding what coaster you would like to build. So go to the Coaster Properties tab and go to the Style menu. Here you can select out of 38 different styles of coasters, ranging from the 4D coaster to a Zampellaris Twister coaster. I'm going to go ahead and for this example, leave it at Classic Steel Looping Coaster. Press OK and then you're good to go. Zoom in all the way on your map and then zoom out so you can just about see two giant squares. This is how we know that we have the right scale. If you've zoomed in all the way, the small squares should be about 1 meter each, and I think if you're an Imperial it should be 1 foot each, but I will have to double check that. Go to the Track tab and click on Start Vertex. Now you want to click 4 times to create a station. One time where they are 2 meters apart, and another time where they have the length of your actual station, and another one on the end. So you should have one large section in the middle, followed by 2 smaller sections on the outside. Now this could work, but it's not quite straight. To make a section straight, click on the 2 nodes in between it, and click Strict. Congratulations, you have made a segment straight. To ensure if a segment is completely level, go to either one of the end vertices and find the Y. I'm going to set it to 3 and set the Z to 10 for tutorial purposes. Click Apply and it will change the settings. Do this to the other side if you want it to be perfectly flat. There we go. Now we've created a perfectly flat section, we want to go ahead and make a lift, because how are our riders going to get to the top of this awesome coaster without a lift? To do this, go to the Track tab again and click on Add Vertex. To make a curve in Nolimits, it consists of 3 points: a start point, a midpoint, and an end point. We currently have the start and middle, we just need the end. Just click anywhere at an angle and you will see that it has now created a curve. For the lift angle, I recommend making it 30 to 45 degrees. If you're going for a steeper roller coaster like a Gersau Eurofighter, you will want 90 degrees. To finish the lift hill, we're going to do the similar thing to what we did with the station. Whoops. We're going to go ahead and make another one of these 4-point sections. We currently have 2 here, so what we have to do is do the same but for the top. 3, 4. To make this section straight again, we go and click on the vertices and make them strict. And there we go. We have partially lift done. To To make the crest of the lift is very similar to making the bottom, except we will use 4 vertices. We currently have 2. The next vertex you want to place will be completely level with the top, and the other one will be level with this, making a nice curving pattern. Now, the game doesn't know that this is a lift and a drop, so we have to tell it. Go ahead and scroll in onto your station, and add 2 type separators from the track tab, where the station will begin and end. Go to the Select Modify and click on the section. Go to Section Type and check Station. You will see it has now created a model of what a train will look like. And it has shown us that the section is brown, meaning that it is a station. I'm just going to even this out a bit. And now we're going to tell it that this is a lift hill by doing the same thing. Add a type separator at the bottom, which we already have, and one at the top. Select Modify, Section, Lift. Now it knows this is a lift segment. Now comes the fun part. We're just going to build a fun layout with a few hills, a turn, and a few hills going back. To do this first, we have to make a drop. Select the end vertex and click Add Vertex. To make a drop, you want to have about 4 vertices. First 2 getting steeper and steeper until about halfway. The other one, or the next one, getting even steeper, and then the final one pulling out a bit, like that. And the 5th one, which I forgot to mention, goes right at the bottom. And you will see it has created a nice smooth drop. But we don't know if this is smooth yet. How will we know until we freeze the coaster? We won't. Unless we go to this section over here and click Track. Now you can see we are kind of glued to the track. To move along this view, press W and S. Press Shift to go faster. Now we can test and see if our coaster really is smooth. And it looks so. Just go ahead and tweak your drop until you're happy with it. To increase the steepness, move the vertices closer to the lift. To decrease this distance, or the steepness, move the vertices away from the lift. It's that simple. If you want to make sure that it's not pulling too many G-force at the bottom of the hill, you can go to where it says Spline up here, and change that to G-force comb. Now it gives you a visual representation of what the G-forces are. If you can see at the bottom of my screen, it shows me how much force the ride is pulling. Here it's pulling 4.25 Gs. I'm going to switch this off because it causes a little bit of lag. To build a hill, it's very much like building a drop. You just got to build it a little bit lower. To make sure that we don't overshoot the height of our hill, we're going to go to the tab and click Speed Comb. As long as the comb does not vanish into the track, we will be fine. We almost want to mirror what we did on the other side to start off with. And then go ahead, like that. We don't want to make this as steep as the first drop, or as high. So after the 3rd vertex, go ahead and do what we did with the top of the lift. And there you go. We have created a hill. But it looks like we have a sharp point here. Let's check on the G-force comb. There we go. You see how it's gone red? That means the forces are getting quite high and could cause blackout. To fix this issue, all we have to do is go to Select Modify, click and drag over all the vertices that aren't smooth, go to the Element tab and click Depump Vertices. Depending on the number of vertices, this could take longer or shorter amounts of time. Sometimes the depump vertices will actually increase the G-force. If this does it, or if it does that, all you have to do is select the bottom 2 nodes and push them up a bit. And then select the other 2 nodes on the either side and depump them. If it continues to persist, what you can do is you can go to the Track tab, Insert Vertex, and insert a vertex every half point. Then depump it. If the problem continues to persist, it means your pull-in may be too tight, but I think this is fine for now. For the hill, what you want to do is pretty much the same thing as you did down here. You want to make sure that the G-force doesn't go too high into the reds. Mine is just about tipping the orange, which should be fine. Go to the Track tab and click Insert Vertex and add vertices in between. when you add it to the last one, you'll notice it will slightly distort instead of going perfectly in the middle. So what you want to do is you want to move it until it's in about the right position, which will be about halfway. Then go ahead and depump that too. And there we go, we've made the first half of a hill. I'm going to build a second hill because I'm pretty sure that you guys would probably need one more example before you'll be able to do it on your own. Doing the pull out is the same as the pull in, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to build the second one without commentary. If your hill gets too many negative G's like this, I know I said I wouldn't do commentary, but I'm going to anyway. All you have to do is select the other half of the hill and move it away a bit, and then depump the structure. And there you go. You've built 2 airtime hills. I'm just going to go ahead and depump it one more time to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then insert vertices. And then we should be good. The next element we're going to build is a turnaround. Because we can't just go in the same direction forever. Well, we can, but it wouldn't be very efficient. So we're going to go ahead and just make a turn. First off, you want to make sure that the bottom of this drop is leveled off, like this. Go up to the top right hand perspective and go to top. Now you can see our coaster from the top. What you want to do is you want to make a big curving pattern. Just draw it out with the add vertices. It will have a lot of red G-force, but do not fear, we're going to fix this. Go to the front view and you can see it from a side view. Well, from the front more like. Now what we're going to do is we're going to raise these vertices up so it has a nice big curve like the one on Millennium Force. First off, raise up the first 2. Then select the outer ones. If you find it hard to select with the G-force cone on, just turn it off, select, and then turn it back on again. If you still can't select it, go to perspective mode, select it, and then go back. Should be golden. You can use the number pad keys such as 9, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 2 to manipulate where the track goes. To raise it up, it's 9, to lower it, it's 3. Once you've done this, we're going to do the same thing that we did to the airtime hills, but with the curve. I'm going to go into perspective mode because it's actually slightly easier to work on in this mode. Go to insert vertex and insert a vertex in between each part. And then go ahead and smooth it. Once that's done, we need to add some roll vertices, because this could cause some pretty lethal lateral G. To add a roll vertice, go to track and click add roll. We're going to place one at the top of the lift and we're going to make it strict, so our lift does not twist. Go just after the lift and click select just modify. Double click on the vertice, make sure it's set to 0 and click strict. At the top of each airtime hill, add another one. Also, if you want to be extra careful, add one at the bottom. These roll under vertices will control how the track rolls. For the easy way to do it, just use the no lateral G. Add one about halfway down the drop, and then at the bottom of our overbank, add another and click no lateral G. And do this all the way around the element. If your roll vertice does this, where it's gone the wrong way, the way to fix this is to just simply click negative 45 degrees 4 times. And there you go. It should be just fine. Then go ahead and click no lateral G-force again, and it should fix it. We won't need this window for a while, so we're going to close it out. Now we're going to do the long stretch back. This part should be pretty self-explanatory until the brake run, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it real quick. Use your knowledge that you learned from making the airtime hills to do this. Make sure each hill is lower than the last. Once you're about at the same distance as the lift, go ahead and flatten it off and then push down the last vertex at a slight angle so it would angle towards the station. Don't forget to depump the other vertices though. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, now we're going to create the brake section. To do this, we're going to do a lot like we did with the lift and the station. We're going to do an add vertex, and we're going to add 2 long pieces. Now, the thing you may notice is when you go to add vertex, it may draw a white line towards that point. If it does that, just move it closer to the other one and then draw the 2 points. Then, move them over. You want it to be just behind the station, maybe about halfway. Then go ahead and do the strict node thing. Close out that tab and you should be good. Let's go to perspective view so we can see what we've done. You can see our airtime hills have gone a bit wonky. Let's go ahead and fix those by just adding some raw vertices. Here you can see how the G-force cone displays lateral G. If you see a lot of this, I recommend you place down a node there and then click No Lateral G, and this will resolve the issue. Just before the brake run, we want to do what we did at the top of the lift by adding a roll node and clicking strict. This will make sure that the brake run is perfectly flat. Now we want to divide the brake run up into 2 parts. Part 1, where will be the major part that will slow down, and part 2, where there will be a slight aid in the movement of the train. You want the movement part to be about a half or a third of the length of the slowing down part, like this. That should be good. To make something a brake segment, we're going to do the same we did with the lift and the station. Click on it, section type, brake, and do the same, except for do transport for the second one. Now we just need to link up our coasters. Go to the top view and click on one of the nodes right at the very end of the track. We are simply just going to do a curve, straight, and a curve. Well, before the curve we're going to do a straight. Go ahead and line up, draw another vertice to line up with the station. Then we're going to do the 3-point curve, as we did at the bottom of the lift, but on top. Add a straight section, then another curve. Except we only need to draw 1 vertice, and you'll see why in a moment. Go and do the normal stuff of making it strict. In fact, I probably want to add another vertice here to ensure that the brake run doesn't scale wrong. There we go. Just going to fix my... If your sections get out of line, you can just click and drag these and it should fix it. Go ahead and make that the second to last vertice strict, and there we go. To link up the coasters, select these 2 points and click connect. Make the last point strict. And you should be golden. There you go. Now to make sure that it doesn't stop moving on its journey back to the station, we're going to add some transport sections. We're going to make this one a transport, we're going to make this one a brake. In this brake section, we're going to double click it and click Enable Transport Device. Press OK, and that should be it. Now we need to go ahead and save our attraction. You should do this during the process to make sure you don't lose your work if the game crashes. Or simulator, rather. Once you've done this, you can go ahead and go to the coaster tab and click Freeze. This may not turn it into an icicle, but what it does is it actually makes it into a proper coaster. I will show you how to support it in a few seconds after we test out and make sure it clears. Once it is done, you will notice that the colours are completely white. I will show you how to change the colours after we test ride it. All we have to do is go ahead and save it again, and then leave editor. Click play, and you should be in the sim. To cycle the views, press E. To pause the game, press P as shown. These are the different views. Fly view, which allows you to fly around. You can use Q to change between walk and fly view in this mode. Space to go up, X to go down. Flyby view, which allows you to be attached to the train almost, but fly around. I like to sit it right in the middle here. Pursuit view, which follows the train but from a different perspective. Target view, that allows you to rotate around the train and it will follow the train along its course. And of course, ride view. We want to be in ride view for this. To speed up the simulator, press the plus key on your number pad. To slow it down, press the minus key. Here we go. Now the ride's over, we want to make sure it makes it back to the station, but due to our blocking system that we've created, it should. And there we go. We've made it back to the station safely. Now it's time to support this. Press escape and go back to the editor. Go to the coaster tab and click unfreeze. This will make the coaster back into a wireframe. We want to go to coaster properties and colours. This is where we can change the colours of the ride. Go ahead and play around with it. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory. These are the track, these are the cars, and these are the supports and various other things. Once you're done, press OK. Go to the supports tab and click on prefab panel. This is a very efficient way to support, but it's not the most realistic way. Custom supporting is quite advanced, but I made a tutorial on that a while ago. You probably want to check it out. Go ahead and click on the select prefab button. Find the type of support you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and use this type, and you can set the size and the footer style. Once you're done, close out that window and click on add prefab under the supports tab. To add a support, click on the track and it will add a support there. Do this to your whole track when you have a nice support. You might want to change the type of supports depending on where the track is. If it's lower to the ground, you probably want smaller supports. If it's higher up, you probably want thicker supports. It's easier to place supports when the spline mode is on rather than G-force. Once that's done, you should be able to freeze your coaster again, and you will have completed this tutorial. Once you are done, you will have finished your Nolimits 2 coaster. Congratulations! Go ahead and click the freeze button, and you should be good to go.